at a rave. Dozens more captured and taken into Gaza.
Just another Sabbath day in Israel, but we don't take it serious. I'm headed to the rave now, where we gon' get delirious. I'm meeting all my people there. Yeah, I know it's evil there, but we like our freedom, plus all the drugs are legal there. The music's so good, we having fun. The drugs are kicking in, but I keep hearing this gun. I must be tripping. I know I'm pretty high, but I keep hearing these cries. So I look up and I'm seeing paratroopers in the sky. They got guns and they shooting, so we running now. I can feel the bullets by my head, so I'm ducking down. My friend just got shot, she's bleeding, but I gotta leave, they coming. Man, I should have been with God's people, but I was out clubbing. Now I'm running for my life. I see flash by me like, is this how I'ma die? But I'm a good person, didn't steal, I didn't lie. I promise I'll comply. I look up to the sky like, God, why? God says, you broke my Sabbath. You don't worship me, you worship planets. I've been a holy God since I began it. I'm trying to woo my people, but it seems you've fallen into what is evil. And I will not be mocked, you're not my equal. You claim to be my bride, but you are on the path that's very wide. You've been defying me for centuries. Now you gon' see me slide. Ask the people what happened. In the desert they just died. I kept them fed, kept them clothed, and they still wouldn't comply. But you are different, cause through my son I made a way. But you don't wanna go through him, so you are gonna pay. I've held my wrath back, I've kept the enemy at bay. You think that you are strong, but I'll watch you break like clay. You're pagan idols, you'd rather have position and a title. You deny the son and you will see that he is vital. It's a cycle and I'm done. In my Bible I have won. If you were my disciple, you would try to see my son, but you're not. You will stand before a holy God guilty. My bride's without blemish, you have been filthy. I've warned you to come back to me, and my spirit convicts, but you'd rather be free. You who are witnesses, observe what will happen to them. Hear you earth, I am bringing disaster on this people, the fruit of their schemes, because they have not listened to my words and have rejected my law. What do I care about incense from Sheba or sweet calamus from a distant land? Your burnt offerings are not acceptable, your sacrifices do not please me. Therefore this is what the Lord says, I will put obstacles before this people.
This song is called "O Israel." Pay attention. Pay attention. This song is about Israel. I'm going to start it over. This song is called "O Israel," and he wrote it after October 7th. Hold on. I'm going to switch it to the headphones because my right ear is messed up. So I can't hear anything. Pay attention. This is called "O Israel." And he made it right after October 7th happened.
Hundreds of men, women and children gunned down in their cars, homes and at a rave. Dozens more captured and taken into Gaza.
Just another Sabbath day in Israel, but we don't take it serious. I'm headed to the rave now, where we gon' get delirious. I'm meeting all my people there. Yeah, I know it's evil there, but we like our freedom, plus all the drugs are legal there. The music's so good, we having fun. The drugs are kicking in, but I keep hearing this gun. I must be tripping. I know I'm pretty high, but I keep hearing these cries. So I look up and I'm seeing paratroopers in the sky. They got guns and they shooting, so we running now. I can feel the bullets by my head, so I'm ducking down. My friend just got shot, she's bleeding, but I gotta leave, they coming. Man, I should have been with God's people, but I was out clubbing. Now I'm running for my life. I see flash by me like, is this how I'ma die? But I'm a good person, didn't steal, I didn't lie. I promise I'll comply. I look up to the sky like, God, why? God says, you broke my Sabbath. You don't worship me, you worship planets.
Ooh, you broke my Sabbath. You don't worship me, you worship planets.
I've been a holy God since I began it. I'm trying to woo my people, but it seems you've fallen into what is evil. And I will not be mocked, you're not my equal. You claim to be my bride, but you are on the path that's very wide. You've been defying me for centuries. Now you gon' see me slide. Ask the people what happened. In the desert they just died. I kept them fed, kept them clothed, and they still wouldn't comply. But you are
I kept them fed, I kept them clothed, but they still wouldn't comply.
Different, cause through my son I made a way. But you don't wanna.
You're different, because through my son I made a way. So you don't get the same things that Israel got.
Go through him, so you are gonna pay. I've held my wrath back, I've kept the enemy at bay. You think that you are strong, but I'll watch you break like clay. You're pagan idols, you'd rather have position and a title. You deny the son and you will see that he is vital. It's a cycle and I'm done. In my Bible I have won. If you were my disciple, you would try to see my son, but you're not. You will guilty. My bride's without blemish, you have been filthy. I've warned you to come back to me, and my spirit convicts, but you'd rather be free. You who are witnesses, observe what will happen to them. Hear you, earth, I am bringing disaster on this people, the fruit of their schemes, because they have not listened to my words and have rejected my law. What do I care about incense from Sheba or sweet calamus from a distant land? Your burnt offerings are not acceptable. Your sacrifices do not please me. Therefore, this is what the Lord says. I will put obstacles before this people. Parents and children alike will stumble over them. Neighbors and friends will perish. This is what the Lord says. Look, an army is coming from the north. A great nation is being stirred from the ends of the earth. They are armed with bow and spear. They are cruel and show no mercy. They sound like the roaring sea as they ride on their horses. They come like men in battle formation to attack you.
You were warned. You got warned. Don't say we didn't warn you. Woo. Ugh. That song go hard. That song go hard.
I love this country, and I was born here. And I've written many songs glorifying it, but it ain't perfect. Now I'ma write a song criticizing it. Don't be surprised now, we are just the empire of lies now. It's looking like we're meeting our demise now. Put your faith in God and look up to the skies now. We are just the empire of lies now. We are just the empire of lies now. It's looking like we're meeting our demise now. Put your faith in God and look up to the sky now. The time is now, we're just the empire of lies now. Need an overhaul, overseas we so involved. I see the writing, it's on the wall. This Babylon, we gonna fall. You think God is looking down and proud of all his people? We kill babies by the millions, he will crush us, we are feeble. He is God, we are man, he's the rock, we are sand. He's got a ride with a big ol' hand. One swipe, all your little plans, man. Okay, I will not put any faith in the man, I will look to the sky. Are you gonna make it to heaven? It's real, better look in my eyes. Bro, China, Russia, man, they ain't the odds. Two ones in our country, most of them making a loss, and most of them making a profit. Take a look at the clock, time is ticking, he the boss. God's coming with a big old mop. Okay, let me get this straight. We kick God out of just about everything that we possibly can in this country. We kick him out of schools, we kick him out of government, we push homosexuality on our children. We tell little boys that you could be a little girl. The cup of iniquity and immorality is overflowing in this country. And we expect God to protect us? I don't think so. Don't be surprised now, we are just the empire of lies now. It's looking like we're meeting our demise now. Put your faith in God and look up to the skies now. We are just the empire of lies now. We are just the empire of lies now. It's looking like we're meeting our demise now. Put your faith in God and look up to the sky now. The time is now, we're just the empire of lies now. Corruption, everybody against the Russians. But I don't trust the production, they lie using seduction. The devil pulling them strings, the TV ain't what it seems. He coming no other relief, but until I die I'ma pull up my sleeves. We turning the boys into girls and taking the king off the throne. Instead of these foreign affairs, now why don't we focus on home? Got a border crisis, big threat, it's more than ISIS. Point the finger, who's more righteous? That's Babylonian whore rises. Everybody drinking from her cup, won't you come here to America? We can fill it up, I'm American, but truly I just think I had enough. Bunch of dummies run this country, things about to get rough. Even on the conservative side, you go to these events, you see cross-dressers, man. Homosexuals, people living it up partying. The world drinks from her cup. You are witnessing the fall of Babylon. Don't be surprised now, we are just the empire of lies now. It's looking like we're meeting our demise now. Put your faith in God and look up to the skies now. We are just the empire of lies now. We are just the empire of lies now. It's looking like we're meeting our demise now. Put your faith in God and look up to the sky now. The time is now, we're just the empire of lies now.
Okay, one more song. I haven't heard this one yet. This is from the new album. I haven't heard it, so first time listen. Actually, no, I have heard this. I might have played this the other day. I think I have heard this one. Is there any that I haven't heard yet from the new album? How do I get to just this album? What's up, Chuck? I feel like I have heard this one. I'm trying to find a new one that I haven't heard from this album yet. How do I get to just this album? Oh, here we go.
40 worshipers the United States has gotten involved in the conflict.
This is Holy Rebellion. We've heard this. 2A Savage, Twisted. This one. Sodom Got Smoked. I haven't heard this one yet. Pride of the Devil. Days of Noah. Wish he had one called Job. That would be topical. Demon Month 3 is on here. Okay, I haven't heard this one yet.
Redeem Google Play points.
Play one more song. Then we'll get started. I'm drinking some coffee.
Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire.
This is called
Every man,
Sodom Got
woman, and
Smoked.
child burned up in the flames. So I'm sliding on the LGBTQ cause they to blame. Read the Torah. In Sodom and Gomorrah, fire rain. Catch my aura, gonna be hot as Bora Bora in the game. And homosexuals, don't you ever get it confused. You know better than a drag queen. God is not amused just because you don't read books to little kids. You still are doomed cause you go into these pride events where kids are being groomed. But they maps now. Minor attracted person, you cracked out. Y'all okay with pedophiles as long as they don't act out. I'ma stand up for the kids, I'll never cap out. God gon' pull a Sodom and Gomorrah when he crash out. I'm not surprised they turning everyone gay. We on the devil's playground and everyone play. We in the last hour now, can anyone pray? He at the door waiting patiently, I'm ready today. Just take a look at history, seem like it repeat itself. People fall away, your Bible dusty on that cedar shelf. Denying Jesus for your sin, that's how Peter fell. Better break that evil spell or you gon' see that evil self. Turn away from homosexuality or burn in hell for real, it's not a joke. Hey, Sodom got smoked. Don't let the devil lie and tell you that the story is a hoax. Hey, Sodom got smoked. You ain't gonna make it into heaven if you gay and you woke. Hey, Sodom got smoked. The anger of God is something that you don't want to provoke. Hey, Sodom got America. You gon' pay for all your fornication. Planned Parenthood is actively aborting God's creation. Porn is taking over minds. It's all a coordination to distort the way of thinking and extort the population. It's a money grab. The Bible talks of sexual sin. And Sodom hit the bottom cause bisexual men don't burn with lust. Trust me, it infects you within and make a woman leave their natural affection for men. That's strange flesh. It was into bestiality, but think about it. It started with homosexuality. America's Sodom 2.0, and that's reality. I call it how I see it. Why is everyone so mad at me? So don't be surprised if you look in the sky and see that fire falling fast. Man, that book didn't lie. Man, just open up your Bible, you could read it. It's that sermon they ain't preaching at your church, but you need it. Turn away from homosexuality or burn in hell for real, it's not a joke. Hey, Sodom got smoked. Don't let the devil lie and tell you that the story is a hoax. Hey, Sodom got smoked. You ain't gonna make it into heaven if you gay and you woke. Hey, Sodom got smoked. The anger of God is something that you don't want to provoke. Hey, Sodom got smoked.
That was dang.
If all the cowards, unbelievers, abominations, all the murderers, sexually immoral, y'all gon' be flaming all the witches, all the idolaters and the liars. When the end come, y'all all gon' end up in that fire. And that's the Bible, I just preach it, I'm not the writer. Satan hunting for souls and you selling it to the buyer for the money and the fame and everything you desire. All the women, even Samson got tricked by a Delilah.
In the days of Noah, Jesus coming
Samson
back
got
and half
tricked
the
by a
world is in a
Delilah.
coma. They following the devil, I ain't following Jehovah. A part of me is glad I got that target on my back. We're living in the days of Noah. We in the days of Noah. Jesus coming back and half the world is in a coma. They following the devil, I ain't following Jehovah. A part of me is glad I got that target on my back. We're living in the days of Noah.
All right. Enough music time. I don't remember where we left off. I think we left off at 18. Because I finished with Job talking. And then we were going to get into Bildad. We're in the second cycle of poetic prose from the middle section of Job. Recap. The beginning and the end is narrative prose. The whole middle section is poetic writing. It's conversations with his friends back and forth. And so where we left off, I'm going to reread chapter 17. But where we left off, we're in the second round of questions or accusations from Job's friends. And he is responding to Eliphaz. And then Bildad the Shuhite's gonna make some more accusations again. And Job is gonna have to respond to that. So that's where we're at. Let me take these off. I don't need these on anymore. I think we read 17 last time, but I'm going to read 17 again. This is going to sound a little dark. Remember, Job's whole family's dead. All his farm animals are dead. All his house and everything's been destroyed by tornadoes and fires and bandits and thieves and all that stuff. Bite to bite to bite. His wife's still alive, but she's just nagging more than ever. And his friends, he's finding out they're not really my friends. They're judging me. They don't know me. They're accusers, just like the accuser himself, Satan. So, is it raining? I think it is. Anyway, so we're going to go through chapter 17. This is Job's last little bit with Eliphaz, and then we'll get into Bildad. Bildad the Shuhite. This is a little dark, okay? Chapter 17. My breath is corrupt. My days are extinct. The graves are ready for me. Are there not mockers with me? And doth not mine eye continue in their provocation? Lay down now, put me in a surety with thee. Who is he that will strike hands with me? For thou hast hid their heart from understanding. Therefore shalt thou not exalt them? He that speaketh flattery to his friends, even the eyes of his children shall fail. He hath made me also a byword of the people, and aforetime I was as a tabret. Tabret. Mine eye also is dim by reason of sorrow, and all my members are as a shadow. Upright men shall be astonished at this, and the innocent shall stir up himself against the hypocrite. The righteous also shall hold on his way, and he that hath clean hands shall be stronger and stronger. But as for you all, do ye return and come now, for I cannot find one wise man among you. My days are past, my purposes are broken off, even the thoughts of my heart. They change the night into the day. The light is short because of the darkness. If I wait, the grave is mine house. I have made my bed in the darkness. I have said to corruption, thou art my father. To the worm, thou art my mother and my sister. And where is now my hope? As for my hope, who shall see it? They shall go down to the bars of the pit when our rest together is in the dust. Dang, Job, calm down, buddy. Job's getting tired of his friends running their mouths. He's like, you're foolish. You don't know what you're talking about. And when we die, I'll see you there. If I go to hell, Who's coming with me? Then answered Bildad the Shuhite and said, How long will it be ere ye make an end of words? Mark, and afterwards we will speak. Wherefore are we counted as beasts and reputed vile in your sight? He teareth himself in his anger. Shall the earth be forsaken for thee? And shall the rock be removed out of his place? Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. He's saying, You're wicked, Job. That's why you're going through all this, obviously. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. The steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. The jinn shall take him by the heel. Jinn? It's spelled Gin. But I think it's saying jinn like Djin. The jinn shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. I wonder if they're saying he'll be drunken. Job 18:9. Hold on one second. The jinn. What do they mean by jinn there? I could pull it up in the concordance, but Job 18:9. Describes a wicked person as being ensnared by their own evil actions, which leads to their downfall. Hunter's trap that catches someone by the heel. Oh, a jinn is a hunter's trap. The trap seizes him by the heel. Jinn. Trap seizes him by the heel. Hold on a second. Why are they saying trap? Hold on a second. Un momento. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. G-I-N. That's interesting that now that's the name of a liquor. A nasty liquor. The nastiest. I'd say the nastiest liquor is gin. I also knew a girl named Jen once. She was pretty nasty too. That's a joke. Holy moly. How many? A lot of G's because there's glory, God. Give me one moment. Facts. L-M-N-O P-Q-R-S-T-U-V. Give, given. Lots of pages. Why can I not find it? D. Here it is. 6341. 6341. 6341. What's up, Marilyn? Spirited gin is J? What are you talking about? The liquor gin is spelled with a G. The spirit gin is spelled with a D. It's D-J-I-N. This is gin, G-I-N. What number did I just say? 6341? Which I think it means a trap, a hunter's trap. Pach. Sheet is pounded thin. Also a spring net. Snare. Gin, it means snare. So the other translations say trap, hunter's trap, the snare. So he says the gin will catch his heel. It's saying it'd be like he had his foot caught in a bear trap. That's what it's saying there. What verse was that? 18:9. The jinn shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Next verse, it tells me snare, trap. But I'm still glad I looked it up because I wouldn't connect the word jinn with snare and trap. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Terrors shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. His strength shall be hunger bitten. His strength shall be hunger bitten. One word. And destruction shall be ready at his side. It shall devour the strength of his skin. Even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors. It shall dwell in his tabernacle, because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. His roots shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. He shall be driven from light into darkness, and chased out of the world. He shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings. They that come after him shall be astonied at his day, as they that went before were affrighted. Surely such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him that knoweth not God. They're saying, you don't even know God, Job. That's why you're going through all this right now. You're wicked. Then Job answered and said, how long will ye vex my soul and break me in pieces with words? These 10 times have you reproached me. Ye are not ashamed that ye make yourselves strange to me? And be it indeed that I have erred, mine error remaineth with myself. If indeed you will magnify yourselves against me, and plead against me my reproach, know now that God hath overthrown me, and hath compassed me with his net. Behold, I cry out, behold, I cry out of wrong, but I am not heard. I cry aloud, but there is no judgment. He hath fenced up my way that I cannot pass, and he hath set darkness in my paths. He hath stripped me of my glory, and taken the crown from my head. He hath destroyed me on every side, and I am gone. And mine hope hath he removed like a tree. He hath also kindled his wrath against me, and he counteth me unto him as one of his enemies. His troops come together, and raise up their way against me, and encamp round about my tabernacle. He hath put my brethren far from me, and mine acquaintances are verily estranged from me. My kinsfolk have failed, and my familiar friends have forgotten me. They that dwell in mine house, and my maids, count me for a stranger. I am an alien in their sight. I called my servant, and he gave me no answer. I entreated him with my mouth. My breath is strange to my wife, though I entreat for the children's sake of mine own body. Yea, young children despised me. I arose, and they spake against me. All my inward friends abhorred me, and they whom I loved are turned against me. My bone cleaveth to my skin, and to my flesh, and I am escaped with the skin of my teeth. Have pity upon me, O ye my friends, for the hand of God hath touched me. Why do ye persecute me as God, and are not satisfied with my flesh? Oh, that my words were... Hold on, I gotta turn the page. Oh, that my words were now written. Oh, that they were printed in a book, that they were graven with an iron pen and lead in the rock forever. For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth. And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see God. Ooh, yet in my flesh shall I see God. That's a good reference for physical resurrection argument. Whom I shall see for myself, and mine eyes shall behold, and not another, though my reins be consumed within me. But ye should say, why persecute we him? Seeing the root of the matter is found in me. Be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the punishments of the sword, that ye may know there is a judgment. Dang, Job. All right, now Zophar is going to respond. So Eliphaz and Bildad on the second round of accusations and attacks on Job. Zophar's last. And then we go into the third round. More of this. More questions. So chapter 20. Then answered Zophar the Naamathite and said, Therefore do my thoughts cause me to answer, and for this I make haste. I have heard the check of my reproach, and the spirit of my understanding causeth me to answer. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, Where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. His bones are full of the sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth. Yet his meat in his bowels is turned. It is the gall of asps within him. He hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. God shall cast them out of his belly. He shall suck the poison of asps. The viper's tongue shall slay him. He shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey and butter. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. Because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away an house which he builded not, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn and cometh out of the body. Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. The heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. The increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion of a wicked man from God, and the heritage appointed unto him by God. So Zophar is saying more of the same. They're basically saying Job is going through all this because he must be wicked. He did something wicked. Otherwise, they just can't understand why this would be happening to him. Chapter 21, But Job answered and said, Hear diligently my speech, and let this be your consolations. Suffer me that I may speak, and after that I have spoken, mock on. As for me, is my complaint to man? And if it were so, why should not my spirit be troubled? Mark me and be astonished, and lay your hand upon your mouth. Even when I remember, I am afraid, and trembling taketh hold of my flesh. Wherefore do the wicked live, become old, yea, are mighty in power? Their seed is established in their sight with them, and their offspring before their eyes. Their houses are safe from fear, neither is the rod of God upon them. Their bull gendereth and faileth not. Their cow calveth and casteth not her calf. Their bull gendereth and faileth not. Their cow calveth and casteth not her calf. Bull gendereth and faileth not. I think that means the bull mates with the cow, and a baby's coming, baby cow, and then the cow calveth and casteth not her calf. The cow has the baby calf, and the cow doesn't get rid of the baby. When a bull loves a cow, he gendereth and faileth not. And she calveth and casteth not her calf away. Ooh! I just made that up. Okay. They send forth their little ones like a flock, and their children dance. They take the timbrel and harp and rejoice at the sound of the organ. They spend their days in wealth, and in a moment go down to the grave. Therefore they say unto God, Depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways. What is the Almighty that we should serve him? And what profit should we have if we pray unto him? Hold on a second. Those verses go hard. Therefore they say unto God, Depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways. What is the Almighty that we should serve him? And what profit should we have if we pray unto him? Lo, their good is not in their hand. The counsel of the wicked is far from me. Yeah, I ain't trying to hear from no wicked people. I ain't trying to hear no counsel from the wicked. How oft is the candle of the wicked put out, and how oft cometh their destruction upon them? God desireth sorrows in his anger. God distributeth sorrows in his anger. How oft is the candle of the wicked put out? How often is the candle of the wicked put out? And how often cometh their destruction upon them? God distributeth sorrows in his anger. They are as stubble before the wind, and as chaff that the storm carrieth away. God layeth up his iniquity for his children. He rewardeth him, and he shall know it. His eyes shall see his destruction, and he shall drink of the wrath of the Almighty. For what pleasure hath he in his house after him, when the number of his months is cut off in the midst? Shall any teach God knowledge, seeing he judgeth those that are high? He judgeth those that are high. Stop getting high. He's not talking about stoned. He judgeth those who are, kings, things like that. He judgeth those that are high. Don't be getting high. God judgeth those that are high. It says it right here in Job 21:22. What's up, man? Battlefield, I mean. One dieth in his full strength, being wholly at ease and quiet. His breasts are full of milk, and his bones are moistened with marrow. And another dieth in the bitterness of his soul, and never eateth with pleasure. They shall lie down alike in the dust, and the worm shall cover them. Behold, I know your thoughts, and the devices which ye wrongfully imagine against me. For ye say, Where is the house of the prince? And where are the dwelling places of the wicked? Have ye not asked them that go by the way? And do ye not know their tokens? That the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction? They shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. Who shall declare his way to his face, and who shall repay him what he hath done? Yet shall he be brought to the grave, and shall remain in the tomb. The clods of the valley shall be sweet unto him, and every man shall draw after him, as there are innumerable before him. How then comfort ye me in vain, seeing in your answers there remaineth falsehood? Remember, guys, this is poetry written in Hebrew 3,000 years, 2,500 years ago, something like that. Something like that. I mean, the oldest manuscripts of this, we don't know the author. Most scholars and theologians say that Isaiah wrote it. I don't know who, I think Jewish tradition, scholars, theologians pretty much agree that Isaiah is our best guess about who wrote this. And the oldest manuscript that we found is Dead Sea Scrolls 400, 500 BC. So This is at least 2,500 year old Hebrew poetry. So if it doesn't make a lot of sense sometimes, it's unless you speak fluent Hebrew and you study ancient Hebrew fluently and you read from the original manuscripts, it's hard to, especially with poetry, jokes, it's hard to translate them. If you do a word for word translation, it's not going to make any sense. If you do transliteration or a more what's it called? Like ideas based translation, maybe you can get something close, but if it doesn't make a lot of sense and it's kind of confusing, you just have to remember this is 2,500 year old Hebrew poetry or poetry written in Hebrew. So it's going to be, like if I were to pull up the interlinear, it's not going to make more sense. Like, let's see, Job 21. I need to get an interlinear Bible. If anybody wants to get me a birthday gift, you can get me an interlinear Bible or you can get me Borderlands 4. Job 21 interlinear. So if I read it in Hebrew, or if I read it word for word translation from the Hebrew, it's, and said Job and answered, your consolation this, and let be to my speech carefully listen, keep mocking. I have spoken, and after may speak, that I bear with me. Like, so they rearrange it, but even then it's still going to be confusing. Wayomar Io wo Wayaan Tanhumo Takim Zot Utehai Malati Moa Simu Talig Daberi Wayahar Ageber. So anyway, one day we'll learn some Hebrew. I think this has the so like this tells me what words are like prepositions, adverbs, verbs, nouns, verb, conjunction, preposition, conjunction, to the grave, noun. The grave is a noun. So anyway, all I'm trying to say is anybody who just like tells you, oh, I know what this means. Do you? Do you though? What incantations is JS saying over here? What the heck's an interlinear Bible? You don't know what an interlinear Bible is? An interlinear Bible looks like this. An interlinear Bible will have the word, it will have the Hebrew word from the original manuscripts. And then it will have the English translation of the Hebrew word, and then it'll say what it says, and then it will tell you what part of speech it is. Like, it's easier just to do it online because I can just like, but this is exactly what an interlinear Bible would look like, is this right here. I mean, they probably have more on the page, but when you do it on here, you can actually, it'll give you the strong concordance reference. It will give you the parsing tag. So see, it'll tell you if it's a conjunction, a preposition. This this is like a breakdown of what all the symbols and stuff means. But yeah. So if I hit Pe, and then I'll show you. Well, the Bible Hub will take you to every time in the Bible that this Hebrew word was used. In the International Version, the King James Version, and the New American Standard Version. Yeah, pretty useful. I heard somebody say the other night, Bible Hub is just a Protestant website. Okay, well, why does it have every book, including every book that's in the Ethiopian Bible, in Hebrew, Greek, Septuagint, Masoretic? It's just a hub of everything Bible in every translation and every look from the lexicon, from the Strongs, the interlinear, the Hebrew. I could pull it up. The lexicon is the Septuagint. That's what the Septuagint comes from. Anyway. That's what the interlinear Bible is. It basically breaks it down from the Hebrew word for word. Anyway, the only point I was making is that this stuff's confusing. That's because it's at least 2,500-year-old Hebrew poetry that we're reading right now. So, okay. Now Eliphaz is going to respond. Then Eliphaz, and this is so now we're on to the third round of back and forth between Job and his fake friends. Then Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said, can a man be profitable unto God, as he that is wise may be profitable unto himself? Is it any pleasure to the Almighty that thou art righteous? Or is it gain to him that thou makest thy ways perfect? Will he reprove thee for fear of thee? Will he enter with thee into judgment? Is not thy wickedness great and thine iniquities infinite? For thou hast taken a pledge from thy brother for naught, and stripped the naked of their clothing. Thou hast not given water to the weary to drink, and thou hast withholden bread from the hungry. He's saying, Job, you're rich. You got everything. Why are you rich? Why are you rich, Job? Why didn't you give away all your stuff? But as for the mighty man, he had the earth. But as for the mighty man, he had the earth, and the honorable man dwelt in it. Ooh, I like that. As for the mighty man, he had the earth, and the honorable man dwelt in it. Might makes... Who has the earth? It's not the honorable man that has power over the earth. It's the mighty man. And then the honorable man, the wise man, the honorable man, the righteous man, they just live in the earth. But the wise man, the mighty man, has power over the earth. Of course, God has power over the earth, but God gives dominion to Satan. And then as far as men go, the mighty man would be next in line with power over the earth, which makes sense. What's up, Auntie? Nope. My people are American Christians, Chris. Your name is Chris. Your name is Chris. Is that an African name or a European name? Chris, like Christopher Columbus? Are you named after Christopher Columbus? Thou hast sent widows away empty, and the arms of the fatherless have been broken. Therefore snares are round about thee, and sudden fear troubleth thee. Or darkness that thou canst not see, and abundance of waters cover thee. Is not God in the height of heaven? And behold, the height of the stars, how high are they? And thou sayest, how doth God know? Can he judge through the dark cloud? Thick clouds are a covering to him, that he seeth not, and he walketh in the circuit of heaven. Hast thou marked the old way which wicked men have trodden, which were cut down out of time, whose foundation was overflown with a flood? Which said unto God, depart from us, and what can the Almighty do for them? Yet he filled their houses with good things, but the counsel of the wicked is far from me. The righteous see it and are glad, and the innocent laugh them to scorn. Whereas our substance is not cut down, but the remnant of them the fire consumeth. Acquaint now thyself with him, and be at peace thereby. Good shall come unto thee. Receive, I pray thee, the law from his mouth, and lay up his words in thine heart. If thou return to the Almighty, thou shalt be built up. Thou shalt put away iniquity far from thy tabernacles. Then shalt thou lay up gold as dust, and the gold of Ophir as the stones of the brooks. Yea, the Almighty shall be thy defense, and thou shalt have plenty of silver. For then shalt thou have thy delight in the Almighty, and shalt lift up thy face unto God. Thou shalt make thy prayer unto him, and he shall hear thee, and thou shalt pay thy vows. Thou shalt also decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee, and the light shall shine upon thy ways. When men are cast down, then thou shalt say, there is lifting up, and he shall save the humble person. He shall deliver the island of the innocent, and it is delivered by the pureness of thine hands. So my little estimation of that right there, a little summary of that is Eliphaz is saying, Job, look, you were a rich man, you had all this stuff, you didn't give it away, you weren't handing it out to everybody, there were people who were starving, you had abundance. Why didn't you take care of every single person who was suffering in the world with your abundance, with your money that you had? So you did something wrong. But Job, if you repent, just like Israel had to repent multiple times, if you repent, then God will stop doing this to you and he'll take care of you. The only problem is Job doesn't have anything to repent for. Then Job answered and said, even today is my complaint bitter. My stroke is heavier than my groaning. Oh, that I knew where I might find him, that I might come even to his seat. I would order my cause before him and fill my mouth with arguments. I would throw the words which he would answer me and understand what he would say unto me. Will he plead against me with his great power? No, but he would put strength in me. Ooh, I like that. Oh, that I knew where I might find him, that I might come even to his seat. I would order my cause before him and fill my mouth with arguments. I would know the words which he would answer me and understand what he would say unto me. Will he plead against me with his great power? No, but he would put strength in me. There the righteous might dispute with him. So should I be delivered forever from my judge. Behold, I go forward, but he is not there, and backward, but I cannot perceive him. On the left hand where he doth work, but I cannot behold him. He hideth himself on the right hand, that I cannot see him. But he knoweth the way that I take. He knoweth the way that I take. When he hath tried me, I shall come forth as gold. My foot hath held his steps, his way have I kept, and not declined. Neither have I gone back from the commandment of his lips. I have esteemed the words of his mouth more than my necessary food. But he is in one mind, and who can turn him? And what his soul desireth, even that he doeth. For he performeth the thing that is appointed for me, and many such things are with him. Therefore I am troubled at his presence. When I consider, I am afraid of him. For God maketh my heart soft, and the Almighty troubleth me. Because I was not cut off before the darkness, neither hath he covered the darkness from my face. Sounds like what some people are saying about the rich today, JS. Right. But it's a false accusation because Job was righteous. I think a lot of the rich today are not super righteous, but it's our Messiah. You guys are the mighty men of the earth right now. But when my Messiah returns, we'll see just how wrong. Hey, Chris Terry. This week on Verbal Combat, which is a debate show, we're doing race and culture as the theme of the show. So it's a bunch of debate topics based on a theme. And so I'm trying to get Jalen and Freddie and you to show up to Verbal Combat so we can have some diversity. We're going to be debating about race and culture. So I think you should show up Friday. I'm not sure if it's the morning or the after. There's two happening this Friday. I'm not sure if it's the morning or the night one. But either one of them, either in the morning or at night, we're going to be debating a bunch of topics about race and culture. So you need to be there. I need to message Freddie and tell him and Jalen too. Hold on a second. Chris can't debate. Hold on one second. Freddie has a new Discord, so I have to... Exact time? I'm not sure yet. It's gonna be all day and all night. But there's two different. So it'll start at. Hold on, let me see. I'm trying to copy this link. Copy link address. And I'll send this to Freddie. Whoa, that is not the link. Let me try this. Copy link address. It's not going to let me copy it. I'll be flabbergasted if he shows up. Eblat. Yeah, I know. What do you need the exact time for? You're going to be late. It's not about how well I debate. It's about if it's true or not. Yeah, I kind of agree, but if you can debate good, you can argue for things that aren't true. One mutual server. I sent you a friend request. Accept request. How do I invite him to the server just from here? Invite to server. Joining conservatives hotline. Now, and now this. Easy's still sitting in his Discord. But he's muted and deafened. I'm not sure the exact time. It's going to be like 11:30. It's going to be like 11:30 or 12:30 Eastern time is the daytime one when the daytime one starts. And then it's like 7:30 or 8:30 Eastern time when the nighttime one starts. You don't have to be there right on time. You can come a few hours late or whatever, and it'll be going all day. But there's two of them, and one is a different theme, but the theme is race and culture. And that's the one that I think you should join. Anyway, enough of that. Chris is already giving up. I know he's pre-coping. If you tell him an hour earlier, maybe he'll be on time. Okay, where was I? Neither have he covered the darkness. We're on chapter 24. Dude, I just want to get to chapter 40 so we can read about the dang dinosaurs. Most of the topics, I hate both sides. Marilyn, the only topic that you've ever debated in your life is you think you're God. So, shut up. I'm American. Auntie, are you European? He doesn't understand any of that. If you're white, you're European, Auntie. I tried telling him. He says, my people. My people. My people are Christians. If you want to add nationality into there, Christian Americans. That's it. If you want to make it more specific, people with IQs over 100, at least. Those are my people. If you want to make it more specific, people that can bench press at least 200 pounds, men. Ladies, who are my people, I don't got no type. I ain't got no type. Marilyn isn't human. She's a ghost texting from beyond. She could be. She's into some dang witchcraft. I'm not supposed to cuss. This is a Bible study. I guess damn is in the Bible, right? Just reading the Bible, we say a good chunk of cuss words. Yeah. My people, as far as ladies go, are the ones who can cook and snuggle. Ladies that can cook. That's my people. Okay. I've had my DNA tested. Have you? You shouldn't have done that. You sent your DNA to the Mormons. They're going to posthumously baptize you now. Your soul is they're going to try to send your soul to Mormonopia. I can cook better than you, heifer. I'm not a heifer. Are you talking about Seasal? I don't think you can cook better than Seasal. She Mexican. Ain't no way you cook better than Seasal. I doubt it. All right, chapter 24. That was a nice little break there, but we need to keep going. I'm trying to get to the part about the dinosaurs. Chapter 24. Why? Seeing times are not hidden from the Almighty, do they that know him not see his days? Some remove the landmarks. They violently take away flocks and feed thereof. They drive away the ass of the fatherless. They take the widow's ox for a pledge. They turn the needy out of the way. The poor of the earth hide themselves together. Behold, as wild asses in the desert go forth to their work. See, I told you there's cuss words in the Bible. Rising betimes for a prey, the wilderness yieldeth food for them and for their children. They reap every one his corn in the field, and they gather the vintage of the wicked. They cause the naked to lodge without clothing, that they have no covering in the cold. They are wet with the showers of the mountains, and embrace the rock for want of a shelter. They pluck the fatherless from the breast, and take a pledge of the poor. They cause him to go naked without clothing, and they take away the sheaf from the hungry, which make oil within their walls, and tread their winepresses, and suffer thirst. Men groan from out of the city, and the soul of the wounded crieth out. Yet God layeth not folly to them. They are of those that rebel against the light. They know not the ways thereof, nor abide in the paths thereof. The murderer rising with the light killeth the poor and needy, and in the night is as a thief. The eye also of the adulterer waiteth for the twilight, saying, no eye shall see me, and disguiseth his face. In the dark they dig through houses which they had marked for themselves in the daytime. They know not the light. For the morning is to them even as the shadow of death. If one know them, they are in the terrors of the shadow of death. He is swift as the waters. Their portion is cursed in the earth. He beholdeth not the way of the vineyards. Drought and heat consume the snow waters. So doth the grave those which have sinned. Drought and heat consume the snow waters. So doth the grave those which have sinned. Drought and heat consume the snow waters. Drought and heat consume the soul waters. In the same way, the grave consumes those that sin. That's deep. I like that. I have a wheeze. Am I taking this as Chris saying that God and Jesus are racist? No, Chris thinks Jesus is black and that he's a true Israelite, and we are all Edomites and we're cursed and God hates us. And when Jesus comes back one day, the black people are going to make all the white people into slaves. That's what Chris thinks. The womb shall forget him. The worm shall feed sweetly on him. He shall be no more remembered, and wickedness shall be broken as a tree. He evil entreateth the barren that beareth not, and doeth not good to the widow. He draweth also the mighty with his power. He riseth up, and no man is sure of life. Though it be given him to be in safety, whereon he resteth, yet his eyes are upon their ways. They are exalted for a little while, but are gone and brought low. They are taken out of the way as all other, and cut off as the tops of the ears of corn. And if it be not so now, who will make me a liar and make my speech nothing worth? Chapter 25 is super short. Holy moly. This is the whole chapter. Very short chapter, chapter 25. Then answered Bildad the Shuhite and said, dominion and fear are with him. He maketh peace in his high places. Is there any number of his armies, and upon whom doth not his light arise? How then can man be justified with God? Or how can he be clean that is born of a woman? waste. Behold, even to the moon, and it shineth not. Yet the stars are not pure in his sight. How much less man that is a worm, and the Son of Man, which is a worm? How then can man be justified with God? Or how can he be clean that is born of a woman? Well, let me tell you something. Through Christ. That's how. Through the Son of Man, who you mentioned right here. How much less man that is a worm, and the Son of Man, which is a worm? Bildad is not a nice friend. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, man? Why are you trying to start a fight with Seesaw? She's gonna oh, she's on her other account, so she's not a mod. Dang. I wouldn't recommend starting fights with Seesaw. She'll cut a fool. She will cut a fool. If she's annoying, you just block her. Don't block her from the chat, Seesaw. Just block her for you. So then you don't see her. Seesaw will cut you. Ignore the chat and continue the Bible study. Okay. I'm not sure how much more we're gonna do. I think we'll do. I think we're getting close to the part where God is gonna. Oh yeah, we're actually. Job is tired of hearing from his friends. Yeah. Job's about to go for a while. So Bildad just talked, and then Job kind of cuts him off because every other time the friends talk, they talk for a minute. Chapter 25 is only 6 verses, and it kind of the way it reads. I don't know this, but I'm just looking at the way that it reads. It's usually a big, sometimes a whole chapter, sometimes 2 chapters from a friend, and then Job answers for a chapter or 2. But this one, I think Job's getting fed up because Bildad starts talking. He gets 6 verses in, and then it's almost like Job says, I'm done. And now Job is about to talk for the next 6 chapters. Job is about to give him the truth. Yeah. Job goes on. Job goes on for the next 5 chapters. And then Elihu comes in. Sorry, I'm not reading ahead. But yeah, the friends are done talking. It's Job's turn. He's going to run it for a bit. All right, so I'll do a couple chapters, 2 more chapters of just Job talking. But Job answered and said, how hast thou helped him that is without power? How savest thou the arm that hath no strength? How hast thou counseled him that hath no wisdom? And how hast thou plentifully declared the thing as it is? To whom hast thou uttered words, and whose spirit came from thee? Dead things are formed under the waters and the inhabitants thereof. Hell is naked before him, and destruction hath no covering. He stretcheth out the north over the empty place, and hangeth the earth upon nothing. He bindeth. It's so funny. They'll reference Job for flat earth. They'll say, look, it says the earth rests on pillars. That means the earth is on some there's some pillars that the earth is on. But then they'll ignore the verse in Job that says God hangs the earth on nothing. Both are metaphorical, both are allegorical, both are poetic prose, but they'll read some of it like it's literal, and then other parts like it's metaphor, or they'll skip over other parts. He bindeth up the waters in his thick clouds, and the cloud is not rent under them. He holdeth back the face of his throne, and spreadeth his cloud upon it. He hath compassed the water with bounds, until the day and night come to an end. Oh, don't let a flat earther see that part. He compassed the water with bounds? Are you saying there's a ice wall? The pillars of heaven tremble and are astonished at his reproof. Uh-oh. Heaven is on pillars too, guys. He divideth the sea with his power, and by his understanding he smiteth through the proud. By his spirit he hath garnished the heavens. His hand hath formed the crooked serpent. Lo, his hand hath formed the crooked serpent. Lo, these are parts of his ways, but how little a portion is heard of him. But the thunder of his power, who can understand? That verse go hard. By his spirit he hath garnished the heavens. His hand hath formed the crooked serpent. What is the crooked serpent? What is that a metaphor for? He's basically saying God made everything. And who are we to question God? Which is the whole theme of Job. And it really gets made clear when God comes down and basically says, yeah, who are you to question me? What are you talking about? Bad stuff happened to you? What are you talking about, Job? What do you mean by bad? What do you mean by bad stuff happened? What do you mean by evil? Do you think you understand what evil is? You have no idea what evil is. Evil's above your pay grade. Why don't Middle Easterners say they are God's? What are you talking about? Moreover, Job continued his parable, a parable, and said, somebody was, never mind. As God liveth, by the way, Origen taught allegorical Job. So somebody asked me last night, oh, would you just make that up, JS? Because I said, some people believe the Job story is actually Isaiah telling a parable, an allegory, an allegorical story to prophesize, because Isaiah was a prophet. Job was not a prophet. Isaiah was a prophet. Isaiah wrote Job. And the argument is that Isaiah wrote the book of Job as a prophecy of Jesus' coming. In which case, Job is not a literal person. Job is a story. Job is like the sower. When Jesus tells the parable of the sower, yes, there's a literal person who sows seeds, but the parable of the sower is not actually a person. It's an allegory. It's a parable. And I said that, and somebody's like, you're just making that up. Where'd you get that from? You don't have any sources that are more recent than the 1800s. Origen taught allegorical Job. Now, Origen still believed that Job was a literal person, but he taught allegorical Job, meaning you can look at this as just a story, and it applies to everybody. But they don't want to hear that because they'll be like, well, that sounds too much like Jordan Peterson. Church fathers said the same thing about many of the stories in the Bible. that they could be literal, but even if they're not literal, even if there wasn't actually a man and a woman named Adam and Eve who lived in a garden and ate an apple, the story, the allegory still holds up. It's still true. Now, I do believe there was an Adam and Eve. Job, I like to believe there was a guy. I like to believe that this is something that really happened. But if it wasn't, and Job never existed, and this is just a story that Isaiah is telling to get a message through to people, either way, it works for me. Oh my God, shut up, Chris. Okay. He reads a Bible. He has no idea where it came from. He has no idea who compiled the Bible that he reads. Because I know you don't read Hebrew, Chris. I know you're not reading manuscripts. I know you're not reading the old Dead Sea Scrolls. So what do you read, Chris? When you go to your Hebrew Israelite meetings, what are you guys reading? You're reading the Bible. Where'd you get the Bible from? Your Euro church fathers. That's who you got it from. You can thank them for it. You didn't get it from no dang... Never mind. Okay. Where was I? Chapter 27. Moreover, Job continued his parable and said, As God liveth, who hath taken away my judgment, and the Almighty, who hath vexed my soul, all the while my breath is in me, and the Spirit of God is in my nostrils. My lips shall not speak wickedness, nor my tongue utter deceit. God forbid that I should justify you. Till I die, I will not remove mine integrity from me. I like that. God forbid that I should justify you. And he's talking to the people who are accusing him. Or the accuser, which is Satan, evil people. God forbid that I justify you in your accusations against me. I will not remove, till I die, I will not remove mine integrity from me. My righteousness I hold fast and will not let it go. My heart shall not reproach me so long as I live. Let mine enemy be as the wicked, and he that riseth up against me as the unrighteous. For what is the hope of the hypocrite, though he hath gained, when God hath taken away his soul? When God taketh away his soul. For what is the hope of the hypocrite, though he hath gained, when God taketh away his soul? That sounds, for what does it profit a man to gain the world but lose his soul? What is the hope of the hypocrite? Is that verse? Maybe it's just in a different translation, or is this? For what does it profit a man to gain the whole world but forfeit his soul? Mark 8:36. Mark 8:36. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the world and lose his soul? Job 27:8 says, For what is the hope of the hypocrite, though he hath gained, when God taketh away his soul? So Mark is kind of paralleling Job here. Will God hear his cry when trouble cometh upon him? Will he delight himself in the Almighty? Will he always call upon God? I will teach you by the hand of God that which is with the Almighty will I not conceal. Behold, all ye yourselves have seen it. Why then are ye thus altogether vain? This is the portion of a wicked man with God, and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive of the Almighty. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep. His widows shall not weep. Though he heap up silver as the dust, and prepare raiment as the clay, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall deliver the silver. He buildeth his house as a moth, and as a booth that the keeper maketh. The rich man shall lie down, but he shall not be gathered. He openeth his eyes, and he is not. Terrors take hold on him as waters. Blah, blah, blah. Terrors take hold on him as waters. A tempest stealeth him away in the night. The east wind carrieth him away, and he departeth, and as a storm hurleth him out of his place. For God shall cast upon him and not spare. He would fain flee out of his hand. Men shall clap their hands at him, and shall hiss him out of his place. What'd we start at? 17? Now we're at 28. So that's like 11 verses. Or 11 chapters, I mean. I think that's good for today. We'll keep streaming for a little while, but we'll stop at 28. Job is popping off now. Job's going to keep going for 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, Job is done hearing these accusations from his friend. He's going to go hard for 4 chapters. But then Elihu enters the story. And Elihu gets a little angry. He's angry at all of them. He gets angry at Job because he says, the friends all shut up. And the friends are like, I'm giving you a little preview of what happens next time. But the friends all shut up. The friends are like, all right, we're not going to get through to Job. He thinks he's righteous in his own eyes. We're not going to get through to him. And then Elihu gets mad because he's like, Job, you really think you're righteous? You're calling yourself righteous? You've made yourself righteous in your own eyes? And then he gets mad at the friends because he's like, you guys didn't explain to him that he's not righteous? But the problem is, Job is righteous. And that's what none of them understand. The friends don't understand it. Elihu doesn't understand it. His wife doesn't understand it. Nobody understands. Job is righteous. They just can't imagine that something bad, this horrible, would happen to a righteous man. And it's all prophecy of when Jesus comes. Jesus was even more righteous than Job. If there's levels to righteousness, they're both righteous. They're both perfect. But Jesus goes through something that Job doesn't go through, which is Satan. Well, Satan put boils and stuff on Job's skin, but he couldn't kill him. But Jesus got killed. His physical body got killed, but then his physical body rose again. So he did die. He died and he embraced death. And then he came back. Job didn't come back. Make it an even number? Well, I stopped at 28. Yeah, I stopped at 28. That's even. I guess you don't know much of the Quran, which is a version of the Bible. No. I wouldn't. I used to say that too. That Allah is the same God. which is a Catholic thing too. It's from what's it called? Something two. Second, some council with the Catholics. They said Allah is the same God that the Christians worship. But that's kind of been nowadays, that's been deemed heretical. And I agree. I used to think the same thing, but I've heard better arguments that Allah is actually Baal Yahweh or Baal. It's in the Old Testament. Baath Yahweh or something. Basically, Allah is Satan. And I think there's more valid arguments for that. So we do not worship the same God. The Muslims worship Satan. That's Baal. That's Baal Yahweh. Or Baal Yogath or something. James would know. James speaks Hebrew. He's Jewish. Baal Yagoth or something like that. You mean Abba, not Allah? No, I'm talking about the Muslim God Allah is Satan. it's Baal Yagoth or something. I don't like Sam Shamoon, but he did a good breakdown of explaining it and going through all the Bible verses. And I heard him explain it. I heard Jay Dyer explain it. And I heard, what's his name? God Logic, and I heard JP Unchained all go through it. And then I read some stuff, and I agree with that theory more. That makes more sense. That Allah is actually basically a demon. Semi-Jewish, semi-Jewish, quasi-Jewish. James is in here and is Jewish. James is Jewish light. James is not here right now. But he's semi-Jewish, quasi-Jewish. He's more Jewish than you, Chris. Cruotero. He's the Diet Coke of Jewish. Man, I used to be able to do such a good Dr. Evil. I haven't seen the movie in so long. Sharks with freaking lasers on their freaking head. He's semi-Jewish, quasi-Jewish. The Diet Coke. Now I'm doing Trump. I'm doing Trump evil. Put him on the panel Saturday. He usually is on the panel on Saturdays. You talking about the debate show? That's Friday, not Saturday. Well, a little bit of it's on Saturday. The nighttime one after midnight, that's considered Saturday, but James is usually on the panel on Saturday night. But you just are scared to jump in. That's why you've never been on there. Semi-Jewish, quasi-Jewish, the Diet Coke of Jewish. Whip it good. Zip it. Zip it. When a problem comes along, you must zip it. Zip it good. I'm a freaking evil doctor, Scott. Scott, I'm a freaking evil doctor. Okay? I shall call him Mini-Me. All right. What are we going to do for 10 minutes? Nothing? Ah. Nothing. Nothing. Will you go down to the hood and talk like that? I swear I'd love to see it. People you don't know, same mocking tone. Can you go live when you try it, please? No, because I'm not a retard. Would you come in my my house and talk to me the way you do? No, because you would get smacked. You would get smacked real fast. And if you tried to retaliate in any way, you wouldn't be leaving. It would not be good for you. So shut your mouth. You sound stupid. Would you go in the hood and say that stuff? Would you come in my house and talk to me the way you talk to me on the internet? No. Don't be trying to pull the, oh, you're internet tough guy. You're an internet tough guy too. Shut up. Shut up, loser. You wouldn't go in the hood and say that. Yeah, because I'm not an idiot. Just like you wouldn't walk into my house and say that. You wouldn't come to Salt Lake City and talk like that. Didn't you say you were going to look into the Quran eventually? I have a Quran. I've been reading it. I was reading it, and then I started this project, and now I haven't been reading it. I've told many Euros the same things I tell you many. Yeah, I know. And I've whooped black dudes at butts in jail, too, for calling me a name, and then I call them a name right back. Yeah. You're not tough, Chris. Stop. You're making me Dude, I'm safe in every hood. I've been to more hoods than you've been to, I promise you. I've went door to door selling magazine subscriptions in more hoods than you've ever visited. And if they didn't buy from me, I'd say take it deep and I'd walk away. Yeah. I've probably been never mind. Why are you triggering? You're triggering me. Stop it. Get some help. Stop it. Get some help. I'm a good Christian man. Don't be trying to tempt me, Satan. Don't be It's always good to learn about another religion. Can't debate another religion unless you know something about that religion. Yeah. I've been looking into all the religions my whole life. But I've never read the whole Quran. But I do know a lot about the Quran. Look, I don't know where I don't even know where I put it. What the heck did I do with it? I don't know what I did with it. It's somewhere. Dude, I don't know what happened to it. It's gotta be. I feel like I lost it. Maybe it's a good thing. I cannot find it. Oh, there it is. It was like on top of another book and it perfectly lined up. So I couldn't see it, but yeah, see? I got notes. I got notes in my Quran. I've been reading that Quran. Look, you want to see one of my notes? Muhammad is worshipped. This is how do you say it? How do you say it again? Quran 3, the family of Imran. It is not approved for someone who God has blessed. I don't want to read this on this stream. Anyway, yeah, I just don't want to hear that tough guy talk. You wouldn't say that in the hood. Shut up. You sound ignorant. You sound low IQ, ignorant. Shut up. I'm not in the hood right now. You're in my house. I'll talk to you however I want to talk to you. How about that? I've gone to Antifa protests. I've gone to Black Lives Matter protests, and I've walked around and I've yelled at people or just walk around, but yeah, I don't typically walk around and just yell at people randomly. I don't do that here either, by the way. I only do that when you're here because you're annoying. And if it was me and you face to face, I'd say the same things to your face, buddy. So shut up. And guess what? Why don't you message all the people in the hood my YouTube channel, and then they can watch it. And then it would be just like I'm saying it in their hood. And then when I go to their hood, we'll see what happens. Nothing. Well, I'm not dumb enough to walk around in like Memphis or St. Louis in the hood at night. I'm not an idiot. How about some paella? How about that? How about some paella? What's paella? How about some paella? How about that? You realize Satan was right yet? No. No, Terry. I think you're dumb. I think you're dumb as a box of rocks, Terry-Ock. That's why your name is Terry-Ock. Terry Rock. You fool if you believe that. Believe that. Believe that. Paella. Paella, I thought you liked Spanish chicks. I like all chicks. As long as they don't, well, you know, as long as they have the correct plumbing. Why did God give Job stuff at the end then? He gives him back double what he had lost. What's the point? How does that prove Satan was right? Satan said, Job will curse you if I take stuff away from him. And God said, no, he won't. Try it. So Satan took stuff away from him, and Job didn't curse him. And then, since Job had to, Job the long-suffering, he had to suffer through things that were outside of his control, that weren't his fault. God rewarded him. God gave him back what he lost, and then he rewarded him with double. Satan said the only reason Job worships you is because you gave him stuff. And at the end, God gave him 2x the stuff. Terry, do you know how dumb what you're saying is? Do you not understand? Okay. Let's say you work for somebody. You work for a boss. And your boss pays you a paycheck every week. And then I come to your boss and I say, and he says, yo, this employee, this is the best employee I've ever had. He's a great employee and he's loyal and he started with me from nothing There was times when we both had nothing, but he started from nothing and he worked his way up through the company with me, and now he's my best employee. And I said, he's not loyal to you. He'd leave you in 1 week if you stop paying him. And the boss was like, no, he wouldn't. And I said, why don't you try it? Let's see. And the boss says, okay, let's see. So 1 week you come to work and you don't get paid any money, but you stay. And then the next week you come to work and you don't get paid any money and you stay. After the second week, the boss says, see, he stayed even though he didn't get paid any money. And now, since you stayed, I'm going to give you everything from before that you proved that wasn't the reason. I'm going to give you that and double as a reward. It doesn't mean he was staying just for the reward. He just got the reward because he earned it. If the employee would work without pay, why pay him? Because that's what a good father and a good boss does. They take care of their people. I don't know how else I can explain it to you. Or technically it could be, I mean, we are slaves to God. The employee is a wage slave to his boss. It's not a perfect one-to-one example. It'd be like a better example would be a father gives his son an allowance every week. So the son does all the chores in the house and he gets his allowance every week. But then 1 week the father doesn't give the allowance. A obedient son is still going to do the chores whether he gets the allowance or not, because he honors his father. That's a better example. Thank you for helping me get to a better example. That makes more sense than the employee and the boss thing. I still think that example worked, but the son and the father is a better example. The son does the chores not expecting a pay allowance every week. The allowance is just a nice bonus. But even if he didn't get the allowance, he would still obey his father and honor his father and respect his father and love his father and do what his father commands, even if he didn't get an allowance. That's the whole point. Also, you're going to get destroyed in the drug legalization debate, Teriak. You're going to get destroyed, buddy. You're going down. Teriak pulled the most beta topic. He added like extra stuff to a very simple debate that's been done many, many, many times by lots of experts and collegiate level debating. The topic is always, should we legalize drugs? Yes or no? Legalize drugs. But Teriak, just to give himself a little buffer, a little more shot at winning, he's like, well, with regulations. No, that's British. Hold on. How do I do Irish? Oh, crikey, mate. Oh, no, that's Australian. How do I do Irish? They're always after me, Lucky Charm. I'm a fat... I will... Oh. I've had bigger corns in my crap than you. I want the debate to be. Wait. I can't just do drug legalization. We've got to make sure that we add a little extra. We want regulations, government regulations. Chaz, are you okay? I'm glitching out. We want some government regulations with our drug legalization. Oi, I can't win the debate if it's simply legalization. I gotta add regulations. Definitely Scottish. Oh yeah, that was Scottish. I think it was Irish for a bit, and then I somehow went into Scottish. Isn't Fat Bastard Irish? Oh, he is Scottish, huh? Conor McGregor. Proper number 12. Proper number 12 Irish whiskey. That's definitely Scottish. Dang it. Proper number 12. Hold on, I gotta think of Conor McGregor. I need to. You imitate all of your relatives' speeches perfectly. Notice how they don't get offended when I do their accent, Chris, but when I do yo, my name is Chris Terry. What up, bro? You get all sad and like butthurt about it. The Irish dude was in the first Austin Powers. He says, "They're always after me Lucky Charms." Isn't Conor McGregor Irish? Proper number 12 Irish whiskey. Oh, ho, ho. Oh, they're always after me Lucky Charms, eh? McGregor, yeah. I gotta listen to it. I hear Terriac all the time. I don't know. I have to practice it. Proper number 12. Well, it's not just legalization. We've got to have regulation, government regulation. Because if I just argue that we're going to legalize it all, then how am I going to win the debate? Let's add in regulation. How about we regulate it so much that it might as well just be illegal? Say arm like I suddenly get slapped with a bit of my Irish in my line. I say arm. Arm like I suddenly get slapped with a bit. Oh. We're just going to regulate it so much that it might as well be illegal. Is that going to be the argument? I think it is. Oh. And by the way, if it's only legal with a prescription, that's not legal. Okay? You're going to have to argue that we should have fentanyl available at Walmart. That's retarded. I don't know if I'm doing an Irish accent at all. Smells like arm. Oh, yeah. Arm. Oh. What the hell am I doing? Oh. I need to just listen to an Irish guy and then practice it. Hold up. We got to get this down before the debate so I'm going to do the whole debate as an Irish guy. That's what I'm going to do. That's my plan. That's the plan. Just kidding. I'm not going to do that. Conor McGregor, best lines.
Thank you very much. Dana! 60 G's, baby!
Sounds just like Terrier.
Yeah,
Black,
kid, don't be
like
talking me about
2014.
Twitter in 2012.
No.
2012. Oh, They got high pitched girly voices. Girly voices. 2012.
I have question. Give me answer.
I'll say my thousand. Anything with a TH, I make a T sound. 2012.
Well, what's wrong with you?
That's my bollocks.
No.
Oh, me bollocks. I thought that was British that said
I
bollocks.
send you a message. We talk with you.
Fuck your message.
yeah.
Fuck yeah. Oh, this is a Bible study. We can't be cussing. Fuck your message.
It's like
I don't type the blokes, mate. It's not my thing.
Okay.
It's not my
It's not my
T.
thing.
My THs make a T sound. I don't know how to pronounce a th. I have to say T.
Why you don't talk?
That's a good one. I'm going to have to remember that. Instead of the thing thanked on Thursday, it's ting tanked on Thursday.
Send me message like without everybody.
What's it?
Why?
I'm right here, mate.
Why
I'm
you
right
don't
here,
send me?
pal.
We're gonna
I'm
fight.
right here,
We're gonna
mate.
fight 6 October.
Yeah,
See it.
yeah,
See it.
I hope so.
See it.
I
hope so.
hope so,
Sid.
because if you pull out like you always do pull out, may
Who?
God have mercy on your soul.
Who
And trust
pull
me on
out?
that. You
pull
little.
out?
Trust me on that. The ting tanked on Thursday. Ask me bollocks, nothing. I want to apologize for absolutely nothing. Do it as Donald Trump with an Irish accent. Well, you see, hold on. Well, you see, I'm very, very good at what I do. I think that I should try to go settle a peace treaty with Israel in the Middle East. Very, very great. Thankfully, I don't have to go toward there anytime soon. Think tanks. Yeah. I'm gonna lock them in a think tank. You know. Oh, that's Joe Biden. You know the ting. They're always after me, Lucky Charms. Wow. Some people have charms. They're not quite as lucky as mine. That's Irish Trump. The ting tank on Thursday. Well, thankfully.
Pull out
No, sit down.
Shut
We're gonna
your
talk.
mouth.
Shut your mouth. You're not telling me nothing.
Shut
talk.
your mouth.
Okay.
We don't want to talk.
Okay.
Mate.
When I
fight.
slap your
I
brother.
want to fight.
When
I'm just.
I want to fight, mate. Don't try to tell me what I'm going to think about when I tank my...
Dancing around my boxing ring. This is my boxing ring. I am boxing.
Quick count to 10, both
Didn't he lose that?
of you gentlemen, if you don't mind, just if you wouldn't mind counting to 10.
Nate can only count to 5.
Fight coming up with Eddie, and obviously he's on the reverse.
Who the fuck is Eddie?
All right. Who the fuck is this guy? Okay, I can't. Enough of that. He lost that, but got paid the most he ever has. Yeah. Yeah, that's why they do that. Irish Donald Trump is peak. All right. It's hot in here. I need to turn the air conditioner on. Dang it. I need to get to sleep, guys. Who's streaming? That ting over there. Who the is this guy? I think he's going the wrong way. Wow. They're always after me, Lucky Charms. Okay. Who's streaming? Anybody? Is Teriak live? No. Gene Bob. We'll go to Grid 1. Just because he's usually got less viewers than Jim Bob usually has a ton of people, so my little raid doesn't really do much for that. But yes, sir, Teriak. Yes, sir. It's going to be interesting. One way or the other, it's going to be interesting. I got to, I got to start working on, I got all my folder made. I got all my like research gathered. Now I just got to kind of put it together and make some, I got to organize everything. It's all in my head. I just got to lay it out in order. But anyway, God bless, guys. Thank you for hanging out. Probably we'll be doing, well, tomorrow morning is VK tomorrow morning? I think there's a morning VK tomorrow. So yeah, I'll probably be streaming like all day and all night tomorrow. So I'll see you then. You're gonna try use chat later when you're at work. Yes. Yeah, I'll be listening while I'm at work. Can't wait for that thing. That ting. You can't wait for that ting on the 14th. Or 14th. 14th. The 14th. All right. See you guys. I gotta go. Bye. Later.